Welcome back to Awful Movie Reviews.
Hello, Central. Hello, Central.
This week we're looking at Killers from Space. Now there are two notable things that I can say about this one, but first, we'll get to the plot. We get Dr. Martin, who has been abducted by some strange force and then goes missing. That's until he comes back to his military base and starts acting odd. After crashing his car while trying to deliver highly classified information for those who abducted him, that's when we actually get to know what happened to Dr. Martin. And that is also when the shit that hit the fan starts flying all over the place. First of all, I need to mention that Dr. Martin is played by Peter Graves once again. We previously saw him in the awful The Beginning of the End. Please like and subscribe in order to watch that review. And then, the second aspect that I have to talk about are the aliens. It may just be the cheapest alien look I have ever seen in a movie. They're just actors in a sort of diving suit with eggshells that were used to make their eyes look bigger.
Our eyes developed to this state to combat the ever-growing darkness. We were forced to migrate.
So, in a way, they were actually just human beings living on another planet before, no? Before we get to the ending, I'd like to mention a few things. First of all, the story actually is interesting and had potential. Just imagine, a film where the fate of the whole world are in the hands of one scientist, who only he knows about the secret conspiracy which he is trying to expose, while no one believing him. But it's so half-assed. No, not even. I wouldn't even say that it's quarter-assed. The movie really gives us the bare minimum. The characters are paper thin and the writing is just terrible. It takes over 30 minutes before the movie starts moving and we actually start getting to the climax, which is garbage, by the way. We get a bunch of boring dialogue scenes, giant animal scenes, and weak chase scenes. I feel as if the producers thought that they needed the film to exceed 60 minutes, so they just filled the film with a bunch of random footage in order to make for a correct running time. But it doesn't really matter anyways, because half of the time I couldn't even see anything. I understand that the budget was very small, one can clearly see that from the special effects, but come on! The crew here made zero effort for the lighting. I guess that gives new meaning to the term film noir. Yeah, sorry. All those aliens need is one more file for their project of world domination to be complete. But Dr. Martin finds a way to vanquish the invaders in a very epic, breathtaking, and heroic manner.
Hey, no parking!
All we have to do is to cut it off.
Cut off the power? We can't do that. It would cause untold damage for miles around.
This, folks, that's all. The movie ends with the power supply being finally cut off, and then this happens. Ah, yes. It isn't a terrible movie without an enormous nuclear explosion at the end, where everyone else apart from the bad guys are safe. It won't make it any more real just looking at it any longer. So, when it comes to alien invasion movies, this is clearly one of the worst. Nothing is ever happening here. At least in the beginning of the end, we had Graves at the end shooting shit everywhere like a madman. But here, nothing. It's ironic as well how the film's title is Killers from Space, even though they only managed to kill one person in the entire movie and they wind up getting their asses blown off in the face of the earth. The only thing that I'll give those bumbling aliens credit for is that they decided to make their hideout in Bronson Canyon, a landmark location for TV series and B-movies throughout the ages. I won't get into the numerous examples, but Robot Monster was shot there too the previous year, and it was also used in the 1960s Batman series. But otherwise, I hate this movie. Killers from Space is a lazy, ultra-cheap, and non-interesting science fiction film. What an awful movie. Also, if you are into campy horror movies, I recommend you go see the channel Horror Hands. The guy behind it makes a lot of campy horror movie reviews, and I give him a thumbs up. They are really good.
This is Briggs. This is Briggs. Come in.
Subject, Dr. Douglas Martin, last seen en route 61, heading toward North Junction.